He stayed when I was ready to give up, the kind of tired no one sees. There is a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. Not physical, not obvious. It's the tired that comes from carrying yourself every day without knowing why you're still doing it. I woke up exhausted, went to bed the same way, and somewhere in between, I stopped asking myself what I was holding on for. When giving up doesn't look dramatic, I didn't fall apart loudly. I still showed up, still answered questions, still did what was expected. But inside, something had gone quiet. Hope didn't disappear. It just stopped speaking. And that silence scared me more than pain ever had. The one who noticed before I did. He noticed before I did. The slower steps, the longer pauses, the way I stared at nothing. He didn't react. He adjusted, walked closer, slept nearer, watched me, not with worry, but with attention, as if he was listening for something I couldn't hear anymore. Days I stopped trying. There were days I didn't fight it. Days I let the heaviness sit. I didn't talk, didn't explain, didn't correct anyone who thought I was fine. And through all of it, he stayed, not demanding energy I didn't have, not asking me to be okay, just staying. Question I never asked out loud. Late one night I sat on the floor, the room quiet, the world distant, and the thought came, what if I just stopped trying? I didn't say it, but somehow he heard it anyway. He walked over, sat beside me, leaned his weight gently against my leg. Not urgently, not desperately, grounding. When presence is the answer, he didn't give me a reason to keep going. He didn't promise things would get better. He didn't tell me to be strong. He just reminded me I wasn't invisible, that someone still noticed when I was quiet. that someone still stayed, even when I had nothing to offer. The moment I realized what he was doing, took time to understand. He wasn't saving me. He was keeping me company, until I remembered how to stay myself. He wasn't pulling me forward. He was anchoring me, so I wouldn't drift too far away. The shift that happened slowly. There was no single moment, no breakthrough, just small changes. I stayed on the floor a little less. I stood up a little sooner. I breathed a little deeper, because every time I sat down, he was there, and somehow that made standing up feel possible. What it means to be chosen. Being chosen doesn't always look like excitement. Sometimes it looks like consistency, like showing up every day to someone who barely notices, like staying, even when the other person isn't sure they want to. He chose me quietly, again and again and again. What it means to be chosen. Being chosen doesn't always look like excitement. Sometimes it looks like consistency, like showing up every day to someone who barely notices, like staying, even when the other person isn't sure they want to. He chose me quietly, again and again and again. What he taught me about not giving up. He taught me something important. You don't keep going because you feel strong. You keep going because someone is still walking beside you. Sometimes that's enough. Anyone listening, if you're listening right now, and you're tired in a way no one sees, if you've ever wondered whether stopping would be easier, please remember this. You don't have to know where you're going. You just have to stay. And if you can't stay for yourself yet, stay for the one who hasn't left you. Healing Paws stories. He stayed when I was ready to give up. Not loudly, not heroically, just faithfully. And that quiet loyalty was enough to bring me back to myself. This is Healing Paws. Stories where staying matters, where silence is heard, and healing begins one gentle